Hello and welcome to the VR Untethered podcast, where once again we untether ourselves from everything.
If we can.
Yes.
Pesky tethers.
I'm not Brad, that's not Josh. I'm not Brad, and that's not Josh. Welcome, whoever you are not.
Today.
Yeah.
But wait, subscribe. Before you do anything, subscribe.
Like, drag your friends over, bounce their heads on the keyboard until they accidentally hit like and subscribe as well.
Right. Trust us, you're going to really love it, and so will they. Okay,
Yeah.
You can start. Your highlights for the week.
Well, do you have any highlights of the week other than the recent bodily trauma that you went through?
Oh, God, no, not really. Waiting for the new Demio release, really getting upset with the timing on Demio here. I think they did not have enough modules ready for. Yeah, because I see that it's like all of a sudden the it's how at least two camps form about every game and how it's being developed and everything else. And Demio is doing a lot of self-promotion about how great they are and how great they're going to be, but I'd really like to see them add some of that to the actual game so that we can, enjoy it. Other than that, trying to think of actual experiences this week that I liked. Played around with some LiDAR on the AR. That was kind of interesting. Still wondering why we have none of that going here.
What do you mean none of that going here?
It just seems like the moves we're making on AR right now seem so baby steps compared to what's being made in some other area, other companies are working on. So
I mean, at some point, there is going to be a version of the Oculus Quest or some other company's product that's going to have LiDAR built into it, to power the AR part.
Right.
So,
I know.
At some point.
It's also just seeing once again the amazing potential built into this computer. I can't console, whatever you want to call it anymore, and just seeing it, the AR pass through limited to the black and white and the. It's, I don't know. It feels awkward. It feels like this was an inflection point, and nobody really wants to have to pay for another Quest.
Right.
And at the same token, they're already trying to get you hyped on. I don't know. I'm just seeing a split here. Like they're sort of moving in a lot of directions at once.
Well, yeah, they are throwing a lot of spaghetti at the wall, trying to see what sticks.
Very nicely done.
So, in that case, my highlights are a few. I did a 3-hour stream of VR chat on Monday night. I haven't been able to get back in and do another stream of it, as this was touring with one of the people behind Virtual Market 6. And so he was giving a tour of the world. There were a whole bunch of streamers, so everybody was streaming it or recording it to make a video of it later, one or the other. So, and the VCAT 6 has a lot of cool stuff in it. In the initial welcome world, or the core world, it funnels you in, and then you are walking down a runway with the fanfare and flashing lights and all that, and adoring fans lined up on the sides, and so you get a feeling of, hey, I'm someone, I'm someone special, they're all welcoming me,
Right. Very cool.
And they have 2 scooters you can rent and ride around the very small the core market world there. And
Okay, that's a nice way to solve the transportation.
yeah. And then so that world is has made up of like I don't know 4 sub areas, and it's an instant to teleport to each area. You're not loading into a new world, just an instant to teleport within the world to a different area. Okay. And each of them have a different theme and a different hidden interactive spot or whatever. One area has kind of a Bavarian feel, and you get to go up in a hot air balloon.
Okay.
Another area is on the beach, and there's a giant anime girl that you can click a button and it makes her do the various animations. So.
Okay.
Which is kind of a little bit weird, but
hey, it's Japanese anime. What do you want? I haven't seen anything not weird in Japanese anime. I think that's the definition.
Yeah, and then we went into a couple of the exhibitor worlds as well, and one of them has a storyline going through it. Basically, it's modeled on the idea of the Yakuza, and you uncover the collectible that you interact with, and it keeps track of if you interacted with it or not. That unveil a little bit about the story, and you have to hunt for some of them because they're in out-of-way places and whatnot, and it can determine if you rescue the girl at the end or if you don't rescue the girl at the end or whatever. So another world, you get to the end and it says, oh no, the pearl has been stolen by the masked phantom. Well, if you had spotted clues earlier in the world and interacted with them, you could have prevented the pearl from having gotten stolen. So yeah, so they are gamifying a lot of the world. So
okay, well, if you're going to make them interactive, I guess it's a good place to start. Making them interactive.
Yep. And they unveiled the VCAT Mall, which right now is just a prototype. So next week is going to have the different stores in it. But it's a mall. It's got an east entrance and a west entrance. And right now it's only got shops on the first floor, but it goes up like 6 floors.
Right.
So it's got a lot of room for expansion,
Right. Right. Well, when we were talking about this last week, you were saying that this tour was going to give you more of a look at, the behind the scenes, and it sounds like it did.
So the tour, right?
So.
Yeah. And one thing I mentioned last week was, I know you said it wasn't your childhood dream, but it was the dream of many a child to be able to jump into a fountain.
I saw the video that you took of the strange occurrence happening in the the swimming portion there. That kind of.
So basically, it's a giant ball of water that you can teleport into and then swim in, or you can run up to the top floor and jump in and land in it by falling 3 floors and then landing in the water. So
yeah, I know your childhood dream, just not mine.
So there's that was fun. I got a couple new followers on Twitch as a result. So. And yesterday I got this shirt delivered to me. This is a shirt that I won from Forever Bowl for filling out a survey. It's a bowling shirt, so
Cool.
it's fairly well made. They also included a bunch of stickers and some wireless earbuds.
Oh, nice.
The wireless earbuds are branded with the Forever Bowl logo on them.
Well, okay then.
So yeah, that was. So that was kind of cool.
Gotcha.
And my tongue did not want to do acrobatics this morning, evidently. So.
Yeah, some mornings it's better than others,
Yeah. And of course I played a little Skyrim this week.
Oh, really?
Yes, really.
I didn't realize that you lived in real life anymore. I thought you inhabited Skyrim and we were just a diversion,
Yeah. But no, as I now own another house in Skyrim. I figured might as well own a house in every city I can be the thing in, might as well. Why not have my options of where to live, and that way I can store as much stuff as I want and be a hoarder.
Okay, so are you going to be a hoarder now? Is this your...
Maybe.
Well, you lived there long enough. I really have to say that... I don't know, Josh. You're in Skyrim.
Well, what was weird was yesterday I went in. Well, okay, the day before yesterday I had still gone in and there was a quest that I was doing and had an NPC follow me that wasn't an official follower, so I couldn't give him any weapons or whatever. And I fast traveled to near where I needed to go because I had never been there before, so I couldn't fast travel directly there. And 2 dragons attacked.
2?
Yes, I beat the dragons. One of them bugged out and didn't give me a dragon soul, but the NPC guy died. Normally I wouldn't care because he's not essential to the quest, but he's essential to the quest if you want to complete it in a peaceful, non-violent way. So I reverted to before I did the fast travel, and then I waited, and yesterday I went back in. I went in and I did some other things first to kill a little time and like reset the random number generator and all that, and then I fast traveled to a different nearby spot to where I needed to go. 2 dragons. I beat them. I got both of the dragon souls. The NPC guy lived, so I continued on. Another dragon. This one bugged out, didn't give me a soul, but everybody lived still, so I continued on. But by the time I was done yesterday, it was like 7 or 8 dragon encounters.
Well, that's
kind of insanely high number. It's not usually that high.
Well, you must have been dragging your butt a bit last night when you were done.
So, you were on fire with bad jokes. So. Okay.
Yeah, I know. Oh God. Okay. I guess that makes 2 of us.
So, anyways, yeah, it was. I made some progress on getting some orders requests done, and I tested out another couple mods. So, and now, with no further ado, let's go into new releases.
Okay.
That's the smoothest segue ever.
That was segue? What segue? We don't need those stinking segue.
It's the kind of segue that explodes when it falls.
Ouch.
You remember those, right?
I remember people exploding when they fell. I don't
Oh,
remember
okay.
exploding segment. Yeah.
So, we didn't really have any official new releases this week, but Drunken Bar Fight had an update that gives a police station in every thing, and evidently you can now shoot people with a nail gun.
Really, what's a drunken bar fight without a nail gun? I don't
Exactly.
understand how the developers got to
Or
that.
police stations. I
Ah,
mean,
yeah.
the two kind of go hand in hand.
Well, I'm just waiting for them to have the mugging scenarios in between all the other things that can go wrong as it turns into
Yeah.
Grand Theft Auto.
And I ran across um, an app in the App Lab that I'm a little confused about because it has a release date of the 16th, which was this past week, but 17 hours ago, the developer tweeted, "We launch on Monday, and I'm really nervous." But
I
it's out on App Lab, so I'm not quite sure what the launching on Monday is, unless he's not a native English speaker and he just forgot to add the ed on the end, making it past tense. I don't know.
Okay.
Or maybe it's on App Lab already, and on Monday he's launching it for PC. I don't know. But anyways, it's called Skybinder. It's $15 on App Lab, and is basically connect the dots in VR with 3D shapes.
Okay.
So
Sounds something like I'd have to see it to know what I'm doing with it, but okay. Have you tried it, or is there?
basically pretend like it's a low poly 3D shape, and every time you complete a triangle, it fills in the other triangle on the shape, making it solid.
Mhm.
So
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
and in upcoming titles, Puzzling Places is releasing this next week. Official store is or yeah, I believe that, yeah. It started out on Side Quest and the Patreon, then it was an App Lab, and now I believe is coming to the official store officially next week. Officially.
Okay.
Official.
Unofficial, official. Yeah, I know it's getting really tough to tell. I know this week they also announced that there was an App Lab bundle sale going on.
Yep. Yeah. Half price App Lab bundles or whatever. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't been paying too much attention to App Lab unless somebody points out something in particular that's good because it
Like
seems,
Skybinder.
which might be, I don't know. It's
Well, it it would obviously be more of a relaxing thing than an exciting thing. For me, I don't know that it would hold my attention very long, but there are people who really like doing to connect the dots, and I haven't seen any connect the dot thing until now in VR. So
That's true, and I haven't either, and it could be fantastic, but you lost me at the second dot when I was headed for the triangle and having it fill in. It was like,
okay.
okay.
So and also I do believe, unless they have an unexpected delay, I expect you to die 2 is coming out on the 24th,
Um,
which is next week.
yeah, I know. Is Wesley in that? Wesley
Yes.
Crusher?
Yeah, I do believe so, yes.
I believe that he said that he was really happy to have been included, and I was
Well,
reading
yeah.
that. But yeah, there seemed to be some discussion as to the actual release date, which is kind of weird.
Right. So this is the last that I've heard seeing, it's supposed to come out next week, but you know how things go. There's always a chance that it'll get delayed, or so.
I know.
We'll
But
see.
at least Bill Wheaton's happy. So.
Yes. And also, Myst is coming to the PC VR next week. So it's been out on Oculus Quest 2, obviously, for a while. Now it's coming to the PC VR end of the spectrum next week. So, cool.
I wonder if they'll add the journal.
I don't know. I haven't been eating it. A lot of people haven't. So
Right.
All depends on how good a working memory you've got.
Ooh, that was a low blow. Low blow. Who are you again? Oh, right. You're not Josh. I got.
Right. No, I'm not Brad, but I am Josh.
See, that's
You're not Josh.
The untethered thing starts to kick in, and
yeah. So, in other news, moving on to the official news instead of stuff that we call news, but isn't news. Now moving to the actual news, that's official news.
Okay, right until you add the "g," it's just not. It's,
It's not official until I add the "g." Okay. So, the painting VR from Oyster Studios is going to be adding multiplayer, so you can have more than one person in the same VR space working on a painting, so talking, hanging out. This would allow for, say, educational use, a teacher and a student working on painting, and just fun hanging out while having fun painting together.
Something that most people don't usually do. There's very few get-togethers with bring your own brush. So
my wife and I paint together sometimes.
True, but do you open it up to the neighborhood, or is this something that you share with her?
We paint with each other.
Okay, well, that's an unusual hobby, but it's
not good. Not on each other, with each other.
No, I was. I respect the sanctity. I'm just saying.
On each other would be an unusual hobby. With each other is yeah. And there's always the paint and drink stuff that all over the place. So paint and pour and whatnot. You go and you work on a painting or two, and you have wine that you bring with you.
Right. Well, that's what makes the painting look like it's decent when you're leaving, as opposed to turning around and.
You broke up doing all that. There for me. Hopefully I'll do the recording.
I don't know. Yeah, you sounded a little wonky there, so hopefully the recording is going fine. And
so, anyways, I don't recommend bringing wine to the multiplayer of this, but I mean, if you really want to, I suppose you can, but yeah.
Yeah, but I would use a straw, very long straw, and probably tape the bottle to the ground or secure it.
Just tape it to the ground.
Well, what are you going to do? Wear one of those hats with, the beer cans and have
bending all the way down to the ground to get their wine.
Well, that's why I said a long
headset on.
This is why I said a long straw. You're leaving out an extremely long straw. I'm like 5.5 feet with a little bendy at the tip.
Okay, now you're just overcomplicating it.
All right, drink a bottle of wine.
Anyways, speaking of multiplayer and not bending down to the floor just to drink your wine, Facebook has released Horizon Workrooms.
with a very, very good image of Zuckerberg. I gotta say,
That's what I picture of him. Um, I tried it out briefly. We have not yet been able to get together to try the actual face-to-face stuff in there.
right.
But I got it installed. I got it paired with my computer so I could see my screen and type and all that, and it works. It's hand tracking only, and you have to define a desk space in VR. You can't use it without defining a desk, which is a simple matter of taking your controller and dragging an outline of it, and then confirming the height. And it uses, as mentioned, hand tracking, so you can make all kinds of gestures and hand shapes with it,
Okay.
including ones you probably shouldn't make, I'm sure.
Man, it's such self-control not to.
You know, someone out there is gonna make a video of.
Yeah, I know. I started to just now, so.
I don't know why people always have to do that, but whatever. To each their own. Whatever floats your boat.
Right.
Although
Well,
I can't imagine a boat floating very well supported only by one finger, but okay.
all right.
But one and to a large extent, this is similar to all the other workplace collaboration solutions out there already, except it allows 16 people in the room together in VR, which is double the number of Oculus parties. And it allows up to 50 users total, including call-in users that are audio only.
Right. I could see this being very, very useful for large corporations or for mega meetings. As for smaller corporations, it might be a bit much, and I know they're still working on some interactions, and this is new.
Yeah. And one thing that I do like, but I didn't get a try because it's only available when you have the whiteboard, which is only when you're in the multiplayer actual meeting as a part of it. It does use the controllers some. You flip the controller around so the ring is this way and you're holding it like this, and it's your whiteboard marker. You actually hold the controller like it's a pen, a marker, and you draw on the whiteboard with it.
Which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
And I do like the concept, although it's like, okay, so now we got rid of the controller, but you have to keep it there in case you're going to use it as a magic marker. Really?
Yes.
That huge thing for a magic marker?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you know how big whiteboard markers usually are, right? You know, they're like about this. So the controller's a little bit bigger, but it's roughly a similar diameter, although bigger. But it's close enough that it could provide that illusion.
Right. And it's better than Apple's $100 and some odd dollars.
And it's better than relying on the hand tracking, holding an imaginary one.
I was just, I guess we'll get this down better as we go along, but it's an interesting toy.
Yeah, well, it remains to be seen how well it takes off and how useful it is. I mean, it looks cool. I don't necessarily like the fact that you have to sign up as the leader of a team in order to try it out, or get invited onto a team. But Well, at the same time, I kind of understand it's not intended for the casual users. It's not a playground area. It's intended for teens. So,
right. I know. Yeah, I was reading about how for whoever starts it becomes the
yeah,
owns the
the
domain.
owner of the team. Yeah.
So.
Yep.
It's an
So I
interesting
am the
concept.
owner of the Untethered VR Workrooms team.
But yes, it's an interesting.
Yeah. And related, so kind of, we have the version 32 announcement that was just made.
They haven't finished rolling out parts of
31 all the
version
way, yeah.
31. So what did they throw into 32? Oh, is
Well,
this the expandable Guardian for Space Pirate Arena?
well, it's going to have the Oculus Move improvements and to track your goals, share your stats on Facebook Messenger or in groups. And it will also have new tools to sync your screenshots and screen recordings to your phone. So that's a feature that a lot of people have been wanting, because it would be more useful to be able to just, hey, I've got it on my phone now, I can share it from my phone to YouTube, to Twitter, wherever, or I can use an editing software on my phone and edit the video, rather than, okay, well, now we got to hook it up with the cable and transfer everything over, and they're trying to remove a little bit of that friction.
Right.
And screenshots are the ones that are I think the biggest targets for this, because it's really cumbersome and annoying to have to hook it up to the computer and whatnot just to get one screenshot off. A video I can understand because it's a lot larger and you don't necessarily want that going over the Wi-Fi to your phone or the Bluetooth or whatever. But a screenshot, yeah, it's easier to just send to phone. Okay, here you go. It's a text message out to my wife or whatever.
Right.
So.
Yeah, in that respect, that's true.
Yeah.
There's a lot of sense for that.
Yeah. And in other news, an Italian museum is using cameras to augment not reality, but their understanding of reality, in a way. They are using the cameras now to gauge the visitors' interest in their art and see which ones are the most popular pieces. So they are measuring how long you are looking at the art and how close you get to the art. So when I first saw the headline, I was like, oh, so they're going to be using the facial recognition stuff to be able to analyze the emotions on the people's faces as they're looking, but it looks like no, they're just measuring gaze tracking and length of time, basically. So
Okay.
are you looking at that image, or you're looking at that image? How close? So
Right. It just seems like you.
Not necessarily what part of the image you said. That's not what I mean. I don't mean actual hotspot tracking, although it could expand into that at some point. Who knows?
Well, if you can follow gaze, there's no reason not to. There's no reason not to make it biometric and determine is it male, female, who's drawn to that particular image.
Yeah.
Why are they doing this? In other words, are they doing this to know which paintings to replace so other people can come in and be more interested in whatever they're showing? Or are they doing this to gain an understanding of human? I don't know. I'm not gathering why they're doing it.
Okay. Well, it says in the article on Engadget, basically it defines the attraction value of the artwork, and they are viewing it as a way of boosting visitors to museums and galleries after all the lockdowns, and they could ultimately use it to determine which pieces of art should be given more prominence in the collection in order to attract people in. It could inform how they stage a piece, how they are lit, how they are placed in relation to one another, because they can now set up, like, say, A/B testing, where where you have painting A here, painting B here. Okay, now if we put painting C here, painting B over here, ooh, that works better,
Right.
So, and they can more effectively analyze and see how to attract people in more. So,
Okay,
so evidently the tech rolled back to 2016, but museums like the Istituzione Bologna Musee have only recently begun rolling it out. The museum or the Bologna, but we pronounce it Bologna, institution of museums, basically. Have only begun rolling it out recently. They're already getting insights. They have found that the average observation time is like 4 to 5 seconds, with very few pieces going longer than 15 seconds of viewing time. And they added that if mask restrictions are dropped, they will be able to track facial observations without compromising privacy, allowing them to monitor cognitive reactions as well. So, like we already said. So, yeah. So, yeah. So basically, it gives, they're looking at it to give them insight as to how to arrange the pieces, how to market things, etc. So, like, if you can determine that your best piece in the museum is this one, and it gets people looking at it for a full minute, well, which one do you want to feature in your advertisement for the museum? Probably that one.
Well, that's why I asked at the beginning, are they doing this for marketing, or are they doing this for, any sort of esoteric, and it seems marketing is the answer. Okay.
Sure. Marketing and engagement, yeah.
Well, so they go hand in hand.
Well, yeah. So, but yeah, it's kind of cool. It's also, goes unfortunately hand in hand with, they better be rock solid on the privacy stuff.
I know the privacy stuff. Yeah. Okay. Let's talk to T-Mobile and we'll talk about privacy.
Yeah.
Okay. So now everybody in the world that ever applied for a cell phone, when you break it down, all your information is out there now.
Yeah.
I don't know how to.
I mean, all of our information is out there so many times over, so many different ways.
Yeah, but
from so many different places. It's like, Yeah.
It's
It's not a
weird.
good situation.
The funny thing is, the other day, for whatever reason, I was looking myself up on, and there was the craziest information. I would say probably 20% of it was accurate, and 80%
Well,
of it
yeah, that's
was.
part of the reason why, to an extent, you don't necessarily need to worry, because a lot of the information is not going to be accurate. However, if there are people going off of that information, because they're like, let's do a real good background check on him, and I'm looking the dark web for information on him also. Oh, now you might get screwed out of a job or whatever because they go, oh, yeah, 19 arrest record. Well, no, you don't have any,
I know. It's just, but it's beginning to get to the point where it seems like it's a major problem now. I mean, I just, when I started my computer this morning, AVG had a message telling me how to deal with the request for ransomware. So I'm seriously looking at this going, what? My antivirus program is telling me how to respond to a notification that that I've been infected. I mean, I don't think that was really the purpose. I don't get it. Okay.
Yeah.
I just
I don't know. Anyway, back to more VR stuff. Because this is where we can be safe from all that by burying our heads in the sand.
hopefully, right.
Rec Room in September is bringing RecCon, a convention held in Rec Room. Speakers and meetings and panels and whatnot. So September 24th through 26th. I don't have a whole lot of details on it yet as to what's going to be going on there, but hey, they're moving forward and they're pushed to become the metaverse also.
Well, yeah, I was going to say everybody is in the push to be the metaverse. So,
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, it's, like, come on, Sparky. I don't know who's going to be and it is the metaverse will not be created in one day. It will be a creation of a.
Well, it could be argued that the metaverse is already here. It's just that our interface with it is what needs to be worked on.
Exactly. The inner workings of a metaverse are there. The actual connection,
Right.
And the perfect elevator and a pulley system. Yes, you can get the rock to the top of the cliff, but it's easy to push the button to say penthouse. So eventually we'll get to the point where we push the button that says penthouse, but for right now we're working with the pulley and getting those rocks up to the top of the cliff.
Yep. And in our last bit of news, you're gonna like this.
Oh.
Skyrim Anniversary Edition is coming in November.
My gosh, it was really nice knowing you.
But no, I don't know for sure that this is going to have a VR version of it. It's a new re-release of Skyrim for the anniversary because it's like a 10-year-old game, and this will include 500 mods in the game from the game's creation club, which was so basically a hub for officially licensed mods that had been officially tested and approved. And which cost a little bit of money to buy, like say $1, or whatever. So, and those add new characters, they add new quests, they add new locations, they add new weapons, they add new spells, all sorts of stuff. The anniversary edition, like the special edition and the VR edition, include all 3 of the DLC expansions. But it will not be a free upgrade like special edition was. So the special edition, if you already owned the Skyrim, it was the free update to the special edition. This will not be a free upgrade. You will need to buy it again, but it will be on all of the consoles as well. And it looks like there's a free upgrade thing for the next gen consoles to a quote unquote enhanced version of the game. So, however, people that own the Skyrim Special Edition and who opt not to upgrade, or even if they do upgrade but they want to keep playing Special Edition as well or whatever, they will get 3 pieces of Creation Club content into their game. Fishing, survival mode, and some new quests from a mod pack called Saints and Seducers. Not Saints and Sinners, Saints and Seducers. So, yeah, in November I'll be able to fish in Skyrim in VR.
Wow.
I'm assuming that will come to the VR edition as well, because it's based on the special edition. So
someday when you're telling your great-grandchildren about your life in the planet Earth, when you would visit occasionally from Skyrim, it'll be an interesting discussion that they have with you, great-grandpa.
Oh, yeah. So anyways, yeah, there have been some mixed reactions. At least a couple of people I know are like, really, come on, just let the game die already. It's 10 years old. And I'm like, but it's one of their cash cows. Why would they, people are still buying it. So people are still playing it. They've either got to bring new stuff to it every now and then, or they've got to say, hey, we are officially discontinuing support for it, even though you guys are all still playing it and buying it.
Well, look, this
looking at it from their perspective, which makes more sense. Revitalizing it.
This
right?
is the same thing as Monopoly and selling you the Star Trek version or the Disney version or the 8,700 different versions of Monopoly you can play. You're still doing the same thing.
Yeah.
It's just looks different, or it's got a different feel to it, but it's the same thing. So I don't know. Whatever. Yeah. I don't know why people get crazy over stuff like this.
I know. I'm like, yes, it's a 10-year-old game, but
so we should get rid of chess.
Why should they actively kill it?
Right. We should kill chess.
If it were dying a natural death and the player count were going down and down and down, yeah, go ahead, let it die. Or make an effort to revitalize it, one or the other.
I know. You can learn from D&B2 and Solaris. It's an ongoing process. I understand it is an older game. It's hard because you have that 10 years creates a tremendous difference between the people that have been playing it for 10 years and the people that pick it up today. Right. And that does create, it was the same thing happened with World of Warcraft. Right. After it was more than 2 years old, the first year or two you could join in and still keep up with it. Right. After year 5 or 6, don't bother.
Well, it's like, as you know, ESO, there's a lot, a backlog that if I wanted to, I could go and buy all the DLC and get all that stuff and try to work my way through all those stories, but that would take forever.
Right. Well, that was why I got out of World of Warcraft and a lot of the mega, multiplayer games, was just because if you didn't spend hours of your life per day in that game.
Well, yeah.
Daily.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Unfortunately, that's how they are designed. Yes, you have to put in effort to continue your progress and the story progress, and it has to be a consistent and regular effort. So.
Right. So, they became
So,
good, but they became a commitment.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's the opposite of a casual game.
Well, like Demio, I will say Demio is a great game in the sense that it's you do need to make specific moves in order to be able to win the game, but at the same token, yeah, it could take a couple of hours of your life for that one game, not for that one battle. Which will then lead to the next 6-hour battle that you can't leave within the first 2 or 3 hours to go, sorry guys, I really have to go to sleep. It's 3 a.m. You're going to be fighting this thing till 6 a.m., which might lead you to a less productive lifestyle in the real world.
Nah.
But yeah, it would be good to introduce.
It will help you in the real world.
Well, it'll help you sleep, but yeah.
Yeah, it'll help you sleep through those boring meetings in workrooms.
Mm-hmm. Why would I say condors? So, any other stuff to show us out?
Nope, that brings us to the end of the show. So
okay,
a little bit early for once. Yay!
Wow. We're sorry, people. We'd love to bore you more, but that was all there was this week. So,
well, I'm sure there was more. As I've got things I need to do, so I wanted to slam this out.
Do it. Make it so.
Like
ouch! That. Ow! I should never have gotten this face screen.
Yeah.
Mikey.
So that was me trying to slam it out, but yeah, sorry.
Okay.
I slammed it a little bit too hard and went through my screen and out your screen and then into your cheek. Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. I'll get over it. I've had worse.
Okay. So if you made it this far, my condolences and thank you. Please remember, if you have not already, to like and subscribe and to drag your friends over and coerce them to like and subscribe as well.
Coerce. Okay. Your method.
Yeah.
Just
whatever method works the most violently, use it on them.
Okay.
Have a good way. Have a good day. Have a good rest of your week. Bye.
Bye.